I've heard your pleas, so welcome back one and all to another character analysis video, and rejoice, Gintama fans, all 7 of you, because today we're talking about someone that's very near and dear to my heart, SAKATA GINTOKI himself. I already have a video about Gintama on the channel, but I wanted to modernize things a little bit, talk about Gintoki as a character himself, and put you onto Gintama if you haven't yet seen it. And I know exactly how to do that, you little freak you. And if you have seen Gintama, I want to remind you why Gintoki is so beloved and sexy, or whatever other reason people like characters. Couldn't tell ya. So today the topic of the presentation is underrated peak. Let's get right into it, starting of course with who exactly is SAKATA GINTOKI? It should come as no surprise that Gintoki is in fact a shonen protagonist, and by being a shonen protagonist come a slew of tropes, in Gintoki's case, being an alcoholic. And I don't mean the type of character who gets a beer every 3 episodes, I mean if he could be doing anything, he'd rather be drinking. He's the guy that if you go to your local bar, you'll see plastered passed out on the table. Some of you may know him better as Dad. Now he's also a gambler, which means he knows how tough it is to work a 9 to 5, so he's taken it upon himself to free himself financially. One might even say that he's that one guy at your local casino at 2 p.m. standing in the corner talking to the lady that smells of cigarettes. You might know him as your uncle, and he's of course also an alcoholic gambler. Now besides being the 2 things that are the best duo since peanut butter and jelly, that is of course a joke, he is also unemployed, abuses free child labor, is a literal criminal, but overall is just a bum. Look at him. Why can't I have a bankai or something like that? Don't get a job, Gintoki. I would say this guy is living life on easy mode, but he never has any money. However, what I will give him is that he is making it work. Somehow, some part of me says, wow. That's kind of a life I want to try, outside of the alcoholism and gambling addiction. And of course, like many shonen protagonists that you know, he is a static main character. Most of his character development happened before the series started, so what you see now is Gintoki basically done. I think this makes him an incredibly interesting character because instead of seeing how the world affects Gintoki, we mostly see how Gintoki affects the world and the characters around him. And he, honestly, is a sweetheart, because it's time to move on to who is SAKATA GINTOKI Redux. Now while he is everything that I just said, and a lot of that makes him a super base lord, he's also the top of his verse in terms of power. He's not the absolute pinnacle, but the writing here is very good, because it means that you can still rely on him fighting against the heavy hitters, and that coupled with his selfless legend ability makes him such a compelling character to root for. There's nothing quite like a character that's written like a fucking loser deadbeat that shows up in all the biggest moments. Now he also has PTSD from killing his sensei. This is the internet. We know that depression doesn't exist. Yeah, no, he's definitely not mentally all there, but that also makes him a compelling character because then it gives an explanation as to why he does what he does. And then at the end of the day, he's just a manga reading loser, which is relatable for you guys. We love a relatable character. Now I also want to point out, you were so fast you went to the store in the future. This man is reading Boruto before Boruto even came out. First, I mean, let's not critique his choice of manga, but oh my god, dude, Gintoki. How can you get this based? Oh, I know. It's because you're the voice of Joseph Joestar. The voice acting that Gintoki has, if you elect to watch the anime, it fills my soul with determination. Gintoki's voice acting is what really makes the character come to life because you somehow believe that this voice actor is in fact a loser deadbeat. Now he also has an incredibly eclectic group of friends, and I've said before that I think JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has some of the best written side characters, maybe Hunter x Hunter ever. Gintama, completely up there with them. And if I haven't gotten the point across yet, Gintoki is a Madao, which basically means middle-aged fucking loser. In short, Gintoki is a character that's not only relatable in many ways, he's a character that you with all your heart want to see succeed. The way he's written is stellar. You know he's a loser, you know he's a lazy bum who doesn't care about titles, fame, money, and you know he doesn't care about doing the right thing, except he does. And he'll always do the right thing, and whenever he does do the right thing, I sit back and I cream and... I don't know why I said that. I'm going off script. What do you mean all my videos are unscripted? Holy schizo moment. Let's move on. In short, what I'm trying to say is that Gintoki is the perfect blend of a relatable comic relief character and a too cool for school, I wanna be like him protagonist. In fact, before I realized that I'm literally Satoru Gojo by personality and looks, of course, Gintoki is who I aspire to be, but I'm not nearly nonchalant enough. Now let's talk about what Gintoki has done in universe, and let's ride the Dandadan wave here about stealing genitals, because Gintoki Jr. has been stolen and turned into a screwdriver. Now he uses this screwdriver to literally save the world. And this is by no means the only time that he's had his genitals taken from him. Now he's also helped a 16-year-old write a love letter to another 16-year-old. I feel like it's worth mentioning he's 27, and let's read what Gintoki says here. Because if the writer reveals himself, it lowers the value of his work. Yeah, dude. Teach the younger generation. Let's go. This is like when you're 15 years old and you go to the guy who graduated high school 10 years ago but still hangs around the school and you're like, dude, please help me with Catherine. What should I tell her? And he takes your phone and he's like, dude, 15-year-old girls are so easy, send her this. And then you read the disgusting slop on your phone and you're like, holy, no, this might just work. It doesn't. But Gintoki is not that guy that graduated 10 years ago. This is a classic example of flirting versus harassment. He's a Riz Lord. He's got a harem. He's got people that you would never imagine falling in love with. Oh my god, Gintoki. Maybe I just am like him for real. No, that was the high school guy. He also fights intergalactic alien lords. This is for all of you shonen fans. The fight scenes in Gintama are sparse, I will say, but the times that they do happen, oh my god, they're animated well, they're thematically appropriate, the anticipation's great, every single climax of every single fight, voila, I cannot believe it, there I am being Italian. Now Gintoki has of course also done some suspect stuff. He's made friends with a midlife crisising Santa Claus and pulled a prank on a 14-year-old girl, and this prank is farting in her face. Roll the clip. Dude, what's not to love about this guy? Another example of flirting versus harassment. Of course, not flirting with a 14-year-old. But he can just get away with it. He's Gintoki. He gave the Shogun a haircut. This is one of the best episodes I've ever seen of Gintama. It gets even more out there. Fuck farting on girls' faces. That's harassment probably. You can wake up drunk. You can wake up hungover and accidentally stop time for the entire universe. That's so cool. Gintoki has done a lot. That's what makes him such a great character. Again, because he's done his character growth before the series even started, we can see him in all these scenarios and how he himself affects them. But he couldn't do them without Gintoki's squad, which is worth mentioning. We of course start off with an alien princess mini Gintoki. This is the same girl that Santa farted on, but she is such a sweetheart. Unlike Shinpachi, who is just a loser, otaku, weeaboo. I'm just kidding, Shinpachi, but I'm not really. Now he also hangs out with an accurate depiction of law enforcement. I cannot tell you how rich I would be if I had a nickel for every time I walked into a police station and saw two police officers talking about how superhuman their rectal muscles are. And he's also got a schizo BFF in his big bird companion. And before we continue, I gotta say all these characters are just so lovable. It's because they make, I don't know why that was so aggressive. It's because they make Gintoki the character who he is. Everything he does for them. Now he also hangs out with an even bigger loser who has problems with his own mental health and tries to kill himself all the time, and a sexually depraved freak. Now you might think Lord Orochimaru or Sukuna are the real king of poisons, but no, Gintoki's got the king of poisons. Otai is so powerful that she can hardwire your brain to reset just by feeding you eggs. He also hangs out with this alien who is a friendly plant fella, and Moonshine herself. He's also got a bloody fucking asshole on his side. I'm so sorry for that. And an accurate depiction of an American. I'm so glad to be an American that every time I take my shirt off before I shower or do anything, I have a 45 pack and a little bit of chest hair and just overall so. Some of his best buds are Smoking Kills, her pet, and a literal gambling machine, and the least unhinged rich guy that has ever existed. There's so many other characters worth naming. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time, so to fill up this space, I'm just gonna leave you with this. His monkey friend. Now I want to switch things up a little bit and talk about why Gintama should be watched. First of all, I know it's long, but it is the perfect show to come back to. It is a slice of life comedy that's not only slice of life, and you can stop at any time in your life and come back to it without any issue whenever you want. Unless you're in the middle of a very serious arc, which you're going to want to finish anyway, probably, you can stop and put down Gintama and come back to it whenever. Because one episode, yeah, he's stopping time. The next, he's shitting on your mother's lawn. The next, he's drinking mother's milk, like Homelander. And it's because he doesn't pander to one audience. That is so based. It's like the ultimate variety content anime, and ironically, Sorachi, the author, makes fun of anime culture all the time. You should not be turned off by this. You should embrace it, because he also references anime. Gintama, it just does everything so well. If I had to liken it to one anime, I would say that it's very similar to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but less shonen-y, a little campier, longer, more slice of life. But if you like JoJo's, I'm sure that you would like Gintama. In fact, a lot of JoJo references are in here. Everything's a JoJo reference. Bang! Watch Gintama. So in conclusion, what can we say about Gintoki? Is he an underrated protagonist? Absolutely. He's a nearly 30-year-old mega loser who gets his nuts stolen on multiple occasions. peak. Because the show is so long running, and yeah, you can put it down and pick it up whenever, he's done basically anything ever. So if you want to see something in an anime, you'll probably see it in Gintama. Now, he longs to remain a child forever because he does in fact have some mental issues, and I like how complex a character he is, why he's become a bad person, deadbeat degen, because it's all explainable and it makes sense. And like I've said before, I think Gintoki's incredibly relatable. We want to be like him, but we really can't, so we'll settle for watching someone like him. Now, he also has an incredibly goated supporting cast. This group of characters, loser, bigger loser, how does he do it? Sriracha genius author. But the biggest thing I want you to take away from this video is that Gintoki is a goated character. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Gintoki PR team, let me know, how did I do? Do you like the character? Why do you like the character? If you dislike him, let me know in the comments down below. But if you have any suggestions for future videos, any characters to cover, series to cover, games to play, real world things to do, let me know. Because everything I do for you, as we've established many times before on this channel. Ladies and gents, we're on our way to create YouTube 2, or bring back the old YouTube. Depends on what we want to do. So if you want to join all the links in the description, please do that. Go check out the other videos on the channel, and until next time, you're looking pretty damn stellar. I love you. Goodbye.